Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I'm so excited for today's video because y'all are finally going to meet my baby, and I'm going to walk y'all through basically my birth story and a labor and delivery vlog all at once, and then introduce y'all to her and talk a little bit about her name and all that good stuff. I obviously didn't want to wait, so I did post about it on Instagram, so if you follow me there you already know her name. I've been getting the sweetest messages from y'all, but today basically we're going to run through my entire day of before I had her, when I had her, and a little bit after, and then I'll get to her name. So she's just gonna chill here for a bit and I'm gonna start talking. My induction was scheduled for Tuesday night, so Tuesday the 17th, and it wasn't gonna start like she wasn't gonna start me on Pitocin until Wednesday. So basically, what is going on here? So basically I was just chilling until then. I had no contractions, nothing that was pointing to me going into labor. Basically I went to my OB appointment. I was 2 centimeters, which I had been, and I was like 50% in phase or something like that. Sunday I went to bed. I took a bump video. I was just like, wow, I look huge, and I took my, without knowing, my last bump picture video, whatever, and I just thought, wow, I look so big. Our power went off that night. I was so uncomfortable, but once again, no contractions, nothing that was pointing into me going into labor. I wake up to take the dogs out that morning, and I went to pee, to go to a restroom like I do every morning, and I just felt like all this fluid coming out. This might be my labor and delivery vlog if we're not wrong. I went to pee because I felt like I had to pee. This like gush of fluid came out, I guess, because it didn't feel like a balloon pop or anything that people have described it to me as. Plus, like, I was on the toilet, so it was hard for me to tell how much it was. And then it happened twice, and then it just like started happening involuntarily while I was just like standing up. So it was at 7:20 and it's 8:03 and we're heading to the hospital. We had to do some stuff and we'll see if we're right. We get to the hospital. They want to make sure my water actually broke. They put my IV. We're just kind of waiting, and then my contractions start. And up until this point, I haven't had a single real contraction in my entire pregnancy. Not even a Braxton Hicks. So had no idea what to expect, and it was not great. My pain tolerance is usually pretty low, and they couldn't admit me into the hospital, like into labor and delivery, until they could confirm that my water actually broke. She thinks my water did break, but we're waiting for a lab test, and then I'm only at 3 centimeters dilated, which is not an improvement from last week. I mean, I guess 1, but I'm having gnarly contractions right now. I want to get this epidural in me like as soon as possible. So when they finally admit us into hospital, they confirm that my water broke and that I obviously am having contractions. I am in so much pain. I'm begging for the epidural. My contractions are coming and going so fast. It felt like the fastest 5 minutes of my life when they were 5 minutes apart, and then all of a sudden they were 2 minutes apart. Okay, status update. I was not doing well, like, at all. The contractions like started, I think, like 5 minutes apart, and then they went to 2. So they've been like 2 to 5. Painful. Then I was begging for this epidural, but they had to wait until I got like a whole bag. Oh, I didn't even tell you we got moved into a room. So this is the room. My ADD is really acting out right now. Yeah, we got moved into this room. It's super nice. They called it a 5-star hotel. Anyway, and then after we got moved, my contractions got real bad. So they started me on that fluid, and I was begging for this epidural. Like, I called my nurse and everything. Oh, I think I'm having another one actually. Yep. Anyway, basically they were getting really bad and really painful, so the anesthesiologist came. The epidural was actually freaking terrible, like the actual needle. And I don't know why I feel like I watched this in someone else's labor and delivery vlog, that like your husband could hold you, but no, my nurse held me. She's really nice. But oh, the pain was terrible. But y'all, I was so happy to see that guy. So yeah, I'm still kind of waiting for it to kick in. It's been like maybe 5 minutes. What do you mean no?
It's been like 15 for the epidural.
Really? Oh, well, I'm still waiting for it to kick in. And I'm 5 centimeters dilated, so I mean, it's moving along. My OB is actually not even on call today, so she called, and I guess she's gonna try to make it since she's so close by. I'm freaking starving, and I don't know if I'm dumb, I mean 100%, but I didn't know you couldn't have water during labor. So those ice chips are saving my butt. I think that's all the updates for now. They put like a little blanket on there already. Let me show you. Yeah, they put everything there. So it's happening. What time is it right now? I think it's like 12 right now. And is it 12?
12:30.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens next. I'll update you. At one point I started like crying. I was begging for it. I was like, please just like make it go faster. My husband was just like, it's almost there. Like it was like a quarter way or something, and I was not feeling good. So that was something that I guess like I couldn't have prevented, but it did take a while. But then the anesthesiologist walked in. It was heaven sent, literally an angel. He was great. It was pretty painful, not gonna lie. And here's like a little like brief summary of me right after getting it. Y'all, great update. I went from I think 5 or 6 to 10 without even noticing. We literally took a nap. I woke up, she checked me, she's like, oh, your baby's right there. I don't have a ton of feeling to push, like enough to push, so she sat me down a little bit. My hips are like open, I'm sitting up. She is turning off the epidural for a bit just so I can like actually push. But that was great. I took a nap, I feel good. I'm eating some ice chips, and I posted on my Instagram story, and a lot of you are sending very sweet messages, so very thankful. But yeah, what time is it? Baby, what time is it? 3:40. Let's see when this all goes down. She said in the next 30 minutes. Let's see. I'm kind of freaking out, kind of not. I brought a phone tripod, and Dante also just woke up. And I have my vlogging camera, so we'll see where I set it up. So after it kicked in, I was in cloud 9. I could see a monitor, I could see contractions. I wasn't feeling a thing, I was chilling. So at that point, before I got the epidural, I was 5 or 6 centimeters dilated. I took a nap, my husband took a nap. I woke up, she checks me, she's like, homegirl, you're 10 centimeters dilated, it's time to have that baby. My OB ended up making it, which was pretty exciting, because it was just like a familiar face, and later on she ended up being like, great. Practice pushing, and I could not feel my legs, so I was pushing with my face, but I wasn't pushing anything, like it wasn't working. So they decided to turn off the epidural for like actual labor, and it took so long to wear off, which is where we kind of get into like a little bit of trouble. I mean, it's a little dramatic to say trouble, but basically when it came time to push, I couldn't feel a thing. My whole left leg was completely numb, and I guess made the mistake now in hindsight. I didn't do a ton of research on how to push, didn't do a ton of birth classes, nothing like that. So I was having trouble breathing. At one point I was hyperventilating and I couldn't feel my hands. It was not great. So we started to push at every contraction 3 times for 10 seconds. And it was to the point where like I couldn't hold my breath by the second try. And I started to get super frustrated with myself, not only because I felt like I was doing nothing, but I was scared for her because I was like, this is taking too long. What if she's in distress? This isn't that. And then they had someone, so they had my labor and delivery nurse, my OB, her assistant, my husband, and then they had someone to come in that was going to like check the baby after the baby was born. And she was worrying me because she kept checking the monitor, making calls, this isn't that. And I was like the whole time thinking, oh my god, because it's taking so long, there's something wrong with the baby, this is all my fault, I can't do this, blah blah. Because the epidural was wearing down, and I was regaining some sort of feeling in my legs, I kind of felt like I couldn't do it because I was in so much pain. So it wasn't ideal, but I kept trying. This sounds like so crazy, but I just thought of my grandma the whole time because she gave birth unmedicated to 4 kids in like a little town in Venezuela. So I was like, if my tiny grandma can do it, I can do it. So I just like tried my hardest. I don't know what to say. It was kind of a lot. And I swear I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do it. I was like, I am not gonna be able to. They're gonna have to like take me to an emergency C-section. I was freaking out, and like I like wasn't saying anything to my husband. I was just like looking at him like with this face of defeat every time we were waiting for a contraction to show up. I don't know. I mean, like at that point it had been like 2 hours and I just kept asking like, is the baby okay? Like, is anything happening? Like, am I doing anything? Because I literally felt like I wasn't doing anything, and I could feel my OB like stretching me, and I don't know. And then it came to a point where they said, oh my god, like she has hair or something like that. I just kept trying my hardest. I don't know, I just like by the count of 8 I was like letting out a scream because I was so frustrated and scared. And then she was finally born, which was truly incredible. However, the fun part, obviously, well, not obviously, but I've heard about tearing. I know it's very possible and common, and this isn't that. What I didn't really consider, I guess, is in the case of this tearing, that they have to like close you up right then, and that they weren't gonna numb me. And I was like, no, I can't feel everything you're doing. So they take the baby away. My husband's still with me. I'm like, go be with the baby. I want to make sure she's okay. She wasn't crying, and I was freaking out already. And then I was just like, doctor, I literally can feel everything you're doing down there. Please numb me. So she numbs me. I'm shaking, but like legs, face, like everything like shaking. Like my legs are on top of the thing and I'm just like shaking, and I'm kind of freaking out because I can literally feel every single stitch that she's doing. It was only a 2nd-degree tear, but it felt like hell. And I could tell it was going to be bad when I was pushing because it felt like my skin wasn't stretching enough to let her out. So it was a little traumatizing, but basically because it was like a 2nd-degree tear and whatever, and because I had to be numbed, it took a really long time to get me like all closed up. Those like 30 to 45 minutes, I don't remember how long it was, were just the worst because I couldn't see her. My husband was with her. I really wasn't hearing her cry. and I just wanted to like grab her and hold her and whatever, and they eventually did put her on me while my OB was still finishing, but I couldn't even enjoy it because I was like in so much pain, even though I was numb. I don't know, and I was shaking and I was freaking out. Like I said, it was not a great time, but then everything was fine because she was here. Baby girl is here. Look at this little champ. First baby. Like, get a close-up of her face. Look at this little chubby girl already eating really quick. Literally not even an hour old. Y'all, she's here. I'm shook. It was so crazy. I cannot believe I did that. At a certain point I thought I wasn't gonna do it, but look at her. I made that. I pushed that out of me. They just put some medicine in her eyes, but she fed for like 30 minutes. Oh no, honey, it's okay. I know you're hungry. I need to wait for the nurse. Okay, I tried to breastfeed her again, but she didn't want to. I think she's just gonna take a nap. But I've been dreaming about food all day. We got some Uber Eats and we're about to eat. She's actually sleeping right now, so we low-key got like an Italian feast. Look at that. And then we also have a pizza. And then she's sleeping over there. I see. Chiquita, sí, yo sé. So I realized in that entire vlog of that day, I didn't mention her name once. So her name is Olivia Rose, and I got a question on Instagram stories if my last name or my husband's, or sorry, my middle name won or my husband's, and Rose was my pick. It's my godmother's and my husband's godmother. So, well, it's my godmother's first name, Rose, and it's his godmother's middle name. Her name is Alma Rose, well, Rosa. And he wanted Penelope, which is a really cute name, but it had like no meaning. And like, because we both liked Olivia so much, I wanted, like, we just like the name Olivia. I wanted like a more meaningful middle name, and I guess he saw what I went through and ended up just going for it. I didn't even know what we were gonna do up until we signed the birth certificate, so that's how that went. But we always like loved the name Olivia. I think it goes with her little face so good, and I love that it has so many nicknames and that it sounds good in Spanish and English. And like every Olivia I've ever met is like the cutest, coolest person. So I'm so excited for my little Olivia. She's just the cutest little thing. So yeah, that night we just ended up just chilling, soaking everything up. She immediately wanted to breastfeed, and I'll do like a whole either vlog or video on like postpartum and all that. But basically they just said I was super swollen from all the pushing. Like it was really bad. There was a lot of bleeding. So after, like with that massage that the nurses do, it was pretty painful, pretty uncomfortable, and it was a lot of blood every single time. But besides that, everything was fine. She got monitored, I got monitored, and then we pretty much were told that we could be discharged within 24 hours if she passed all her tests, and she did. So we ended up going home literally. So I delivered her around 6 o'clock on Monday. We ended up going home at around 10 o'clock at night on Tuesday, which was great. Had some issues with the car seat, but Daddy figured it out. We're going home. She doesn't even know what's going on. She's so sleepy. So it is now Thursday. We've been home, honestly trying to figure it out. She's such a good baby, and like we're just in love with her. Like my husband is actually obsessed. We took her on our first little walk with the dogs, and I know a lot of you want to know about the dogs and their reactions. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the very first reaction. I was very overwhelmed. There was a lot going on when we got home with like my in-laws were here, my mom was here, the dogs were freaking out, not at the baby or anything, but just like they were excited to see us, and we were just like overwhelmed. So we wanted to get the hospital closed out, and like it just didn't work out. But Bolt is obsessed. He's like a little babysitter, always worried about her, always staring at her. We have a swing for her, and he just stares at her, tries to check up on her at night, looks over like the mesh in the bassinet to make sure she's okay. And then when she cries, he barks like, take care of her, do something, she's crying, like to let us know. It's not like a bark like, oh, loud noise, like no, it's like do something, check on her. I'm just so proud of him. And Skippy has just been kind of oblivious, to be honest. He's just in his own little world, but he has noticed her and stuff, and like smells her and stares at her. But Bolt is just obsessed with her. And like I said, she's just such a good baby. We already went to a pediatrician, and we have another appointment tomorrow, but she's doing real good. I think that's everything. Like I said, I will do maybe a Q&A, maybe just like a vlog day in my life. There's a ton that I want to tell y'all about, like how I'm feeling about my body right now, just recovering, just having a whole ass baby, and just time right now feels so weird. I'm pretty sure I slept like maybe 3 hours max last night. It's like 12:52 and I feel like I'm like in another planet. I don't know. So I will do a better like video eventually, just bear with me. I also want to say thank you to y'all for 50,000 subscribers. Like all in a month basically. I had my baby, I reached 50,000 subscribers here, and then reach like over 10,000 on Instagram, which is like kind of dumb for me to like even talk about, like in the same realm as like I had my baby and I did this huge like milestone. But like it's just so cool. So thank you guys for being here, for all your sweet comments. I'm still catching up on DMs on Instagram, so if I don't get to your comments right away on here, just know I really appreciate them. And yeah, I'm so excited to share this like new stage of life with y'all. But I think that's everything for today's video. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, definitely let me know. But yeah, this is my sweetest little baby that I'm obsessed with, and I'm just so in love, and I can't believe I made this. I am shook. So I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.